Hi everyone, Letty here. I just wanted to do a quick follow-up with my craft fair market. I'll show you a little bit about the booth setup, some results, my best sellers, positive, negatives. I'm going to give you everything. Welcome back, everyone. So I had my craft fair or my market, and I wanted to give you some results. My fair was on November 2nd, so it's been a little over a month now. I definitely did not do good. So a couple of things that I think impacted this was one, it was right before the election, and I think people were just so not sure what was going to happen, and they weren't spending money. It was also very much, as far as many weeks ahead of Christmas. I think it was too early. People were just not shopping for like stocking stuffers and little Christmas things that I was trying to sell. So I think that definitely had a negative impact on my overall, sales in general. The market itself was very small. There were just not a lot of customers. There were hardly any foot traffic coming through. I did notice that the vendor count seemed to have gotten a little smaller since the last time that I did it, which was pre-pandemic. So that I think has a huge impact too. I will say my market fees or like the vendor fees were $90 to do this market. And then I had to pay an additional $10 for each table that I rented. So in total, I spent $110. But let me show you a little bit about the setup, and I'll show you the items that sold and what didn't sell. So here's a little video of my booth setup. This was on the day of the event in the morning, right before the event. So I had everything kind of fully stocked. I have those white tiered sort of, holders. Those are actually from Joann's. They're like the Totally Tiffany, like organizers, I believe. I had purchased them like 60% off at Joann's. And so here are the little notebooks or like the notepad wallets. I've got gift card holders. I had some little free candy. I couldn't even get rid of the free candy. Like there was just nobody. I had bought multiple bags of candy. I literally maybe went through a third of one bag. But overall, I feel like I did learn some things, and I'll share that with you. Here's a little sample of my little cash holder with like a little fake $100 bill in it. Was able to put together a little bitty Christmas tree with the ornaments and the hot cocoa packs here. So there's a little close up of what my super little small, like little Grinch tree looked like. Overall, I think my display looked pretty good. I got lots of compliments. People did say that everything looked really nice, and that, they asked if I had handmade, the items, and I said yes. And I, kind of talked about my processes and my YouTube channel and kind of everything. I had this extra little cart that I added to the front, and I had added I had this pegboard, so I added my little card sets there. But overall, I feel like my display was really good. I had some things elevated. I had some little tiered, trays and displays. So it did bring people's eye up. As far as some pictures, I had this little item here was my donation gift. They do a silent auction, so every vendor has to donate something. I made this. It's just like a party tray that has several little items for like a kid's party, bunch of different little things. And then you can see here my little Grinch Christmas tree, super small. But I wanted to just kind of show what those ornaments would look like when they were hung up. And so that's what I was showing there. All of my neighbors were super friendly. I was able to chit chat with them quite a bit. One thing they did tell me pretty repeatedly was that they had done previous fairs in this season, like this year, and they all had been extremely slow. They had like one more big fair that was going to come up like in a few weeks after that event, which was at the end of November. And they were really banking on, hopefully making some more sales from that last event, because it has just been pretty dry, like the last, several months that they had been doing these events. This was my first event, my first and only event of this year. And so I just wasn't really sure. I had been several years since I had done it. When I did it several years ago, it was actually really, really good. And I had sold quite a bit and made profit. And I mean, it was really fun. But again, there were more vendors, and I think they did more advertising. I think they had different like marketing people. And, there are some positives I'll talk about as well. I'm also going to show you what were some of my best sellers, some of the things that kind of surprised me that didn't sell at all, and some of the plans that I have for those items. So just stick around and you can kind of see some of those things. And I am hoping to maybe do like a long-term like craft fair tutorial, like prep kind of series maybe on my channel in 2025. I'm hoping to do that. Maybe just kind of really walk through some tutorials on different items that I have either in my market or that I've seen that I want to try to introduce into my sale. But let me talk about the actual results. So my best seller by far were these stationery kits, and they were mostly the Christmas ones. These I have here are like some little wilderness ones, but the Christmas stationery kits almost sold out. And I had some teachers that came and bought like, in dozens at a time. And so these were $1 a piece. I thought very affordable. My cards, I did sell quite a bit of these. I didn't sell as many Christmas cards as I thought I would. Again, people just weren't buying Christmas items, but they kept asking me for birthday cards. I did sell quite a bit. I probably could have sold even more had I had more birthday cards ready. And then these candy cane seeds, these were a huge hit. People just thought they were so cute. They loved them. I had people buy multiples at $1, price point. It was really affordable. It was really affordable for me to make as well. So if this is an item you want me to show you how to make, let me know and I'll definitely make some. They're so easy. I made some koozies. I heat pressed the koozies. I did sell quite a bit of these, primarily like the faith-based koozies. I had some ladies come in and they bought multiples, I guess, for like their church groups and things like that. So those were quite a bit of a good hit there. I did have some of these 2-count bookmarks. I did sell some of these, and these were some old scrap papers that I had laminated years ago, added some ribbon or twine, put them 2 to a pack, and they were so basic. I didn't add any decoration, but I just really wanted to get rid of my scraps, and so I was happy to get rid of some of these. These were some 4-count tag kits. I made these super fast. They're so easy to make. I sold them for $1. You had everything to make 4 tags. People were really interested in these. They kept looking at them. They were asking me questions about them. Again, I think because it was so far in advance from Christmas, people just were not even thinking about stocking stuffers or the like. I did have my savings challenges and I had bundled them 2 to a set for $3 for total. And there was a lot of interest in them. What are these? And I think they saw all the holographic and it like kind of drew their eye. I did sell 1 set to a girl who wanted to buy it for her mother because she loves going to Vegas. And so she thought that would be a great gift, which I agree. And then the 6x6 teacher gift card holder, these are the pop-up ones and they came with a handmade envelope. I did have some interest in these. I did sell 1 of them. I had these again from a couple years ago, so I was happy to even get rid of even just the 1 at that fair today or that day. The notebooks, these are like the notepad wallets. I had a bazillion of these and I want to say I sold maybe 1 or 2 and that was it. So I still have a bazillion of these. The good thing is these are non-perishable, so I can just keep them in my stash and then when the right event comes up, I will be ready. Now, as far as my non-sellers that kind of shocked me, these teacher kits, they were $8 and you got like 5 or 6 items in it. I thought that was a steal for $8. Several handmade items. There was a couple of store-bought things that I included in. I was just really shocked. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save these and at the beginning of the year, I'll post them on my Etsy store. So that way I can get them for like teacher appreciation. These cash holders were another one. I was kind of shocked. I had a lot of interest in them. People kept saying they were cute. They were asking about them. They saw the little example, the display. And I thought the $2 price point was definitely, very affordable. But for some reason, they just did not sell. I mean, there were lots of people interested. They weren't buying. They just were not buying. The gift card holder ornaments, people thought they were cute. They asked me about them. I kind of showed them some examples on the trees. And I mean, it was like a good intention, good idea. And for some reason, again, it just did not sell. So again, I think it was just because it was too far in advance of Christmas. I think if I would have done a later market, all of these little Christmas items definitely would have probably done much better. So overall, I did take some positives away. I was able to set up my QR codes for a couple of payment methods, PayPal and Square. I was able to test them. I figured PayPal, lots of people have PayPal. The Square, I was able to set up a specific event within Square. And so it was so nice because when people scanned it to purchase it, I was able to test it. It worked. And then on their receipt, it would say that it was that specific market. I also did some QR codes for my YouTube channel, for my Ko-fi shop. So I was able to kind of draw some attention to these things as well. I had people scan right then and there at the event, which might have got me subscribers or, maybe potentially a customer or a follower or something later on down the line. I had all of my pricing pretty displayed. I had it, pretty out there. I had them framed in these little, Dollar Tree frames or whatever. But I think overall display was really well. Overall, I don't think I will be doing this specific market again, primarily because of the date. It was just way too far in advance. And I like prepping for Christmas. And I think that's what kind of hurt me. But also because of the fee that it cost me $110 just to even get in the door, not including my little donation gift, my gas to get there. It's kind of far out in the way. It's kind of one of the suburbs of Austin. So I had to like leave Austin to get to this event. And so I don't think I will be doing this one again. But one thing I can tell you, if you're somebody who's on the fence about whether or not you should be doing a fair, I would say do some research, check out one of the fairs, walk through one, and then definitely, if it's something that you want to try, at least try it one time. You just never know. So I did have lots of things left over. So what I did was I put some bundles together and I've already listed them in my Etsy shop. And they're roughly like 10 to 12 items for $20 plus $4 in shipping. So I kind of split the shipping with you. So it comes out to be around $2 an item, which I feel is still very, very affordable. And so if that's something that you're wanting, I've got a bunch of little listings on my Etsy shop. I have my Etsy link. I'll link it down below. Again, I hope I don't discourage anybody from at least trying out a fair, because I can tell you, I've had fairs where I've gone to where it blows all expectations out of the water. I do really well. And then there's some fairs where I think I'm going to do well, and then I do horribly. So you just never know until you actually go to the event, until you actually experience it. One thing I will say though, is that every time I do a fair, I learn something. I was able to grow with the extent of like my QR codes and getting everything and more exposure and, advertising for my YouTube and my Ko-fi and my Etsy and everything else. I did make a market connection, which could potentially lead to additional sales in the future. I met some fabulous vendors. So it was definitely not a waste at all. So I'll have my Etsy link listed down below. I hope this gave you a little bit of help and inspiration to and encouragement to kind of do your fair if that's what's best for you. Happy crafting.